Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining us for this special Lunar New Year celebration. My name's Chris Carroll, here in Metricon's Franklin Show Home, part of Metricon's designer range of homes to celebrate the Year of the Tiger. In this broadcast you get to see more of this amazing show home from Metricon, and of course the main event, a cooking demonstration from dessert queen and 2018 MasterChef contestant Jess Liemantara. We've got a lot to get through, it's a very exciting event, we're glad you're here, but for now, let's don our aprons and jump into the kitchen with Jess.
Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that's so sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on.
Jess, thank you so much for joining us here at Metricon for our Lunar New Year celebration. Very excited to have you here in the amazing Franklin Show Home.
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited to finally cook in this kitchen.
We have a lot to catch up on, a lot of MasterChef stuff to discuss and of course to talk about Lunar New Year itself.
Absolutely.
But I also understand you're going to be showing us how to cook pineapple cookies, yeah?
Yes, so this pineapple cookie recipe is my grandma's addition. So there's a couple steps to it. We've got the pineapple jam. So obviously we're making our own pineapple puree. We've got our biscuit dough. So here's our ingredients here. We've also gonna mold it. We're gonna egg wash and then we're gonna bake it off. But first is always choosing our right pineapple.
Okay, so it's a bit of a four-step process, yeah? Mm-hmm. I'm not a cook and I'm sure some of the people watching aren't cooks either. So we're gonna try and do it as we go along and we'll hope for the best.
Absolutely.
So it all starts with the pineapples, yeah?
Yes, so the people at home, you've actually got a ready-made jam, but for the ones that don't have the ingredients in front of you, we're gonna be making it from scratch. So choosing a pineapple is always all about the color on the outside. So we've got a yellow pineapple and we've got a green pineapple. Yellow is always more sort of sweet side, and then the green is more sort of the sour side. And we like to have a bit of both sweet and sour.
That's good to know because I always do get confused when I go to the supermarket. I can't tell by touching them whether one's good and one's bad. So for this recipe, a mix of both, yeah?
Absolutely. So it's not like a watermelon, you don't tap it, you look by the color. So we're gonna start with the sweet one. I'm gonna move this to the side. I'm gonna cut here, and then we're also gonna cut on the other side. And this just helps with cutting it open. And then the other side. And then we've got our bin pile over here.
I'll take care of that.
Yes, you will. So then we're gonna cut on the outside. So this one, be careful, you wanna hold it quite firmly. And then onto the other side.
And so you're not cutting too far into the pineapple,
No,
right?
so we wanna, as my grandma says, never waste the food. Mm-hmm. So we always wanna cut as little as we can, and we wanna keep as much of the flesh. And actually we're quite lucky, this one doesn't have a lot of eyes. I call these little pockets the eyes.
Got it.
So,
it smells beautiful.
yeah, it smells very sweet. Have a smell.
Yeah. Fragrant.
Very smell.
Gorgeous.
So we're gonna...
So this is Grandma's dish, right? So are you
Yes.
feeling the pressure to deliver the goods here?
I do. I mean, when I was, I think, 9, she always makes this with me. Like, she would come over, I'd help sort of not cut the pineapple, but obviously stir the pot, which you're going to be helping me stir. So it's very nostalgic, and I wish my grandma could be here because, yeah, this is her favorite dish to make.
Nice.
But now I make it every day, so.
Do you make it for the rest of the family regularly, or is this a special Lunar New Year kind of dish?
I think it's always just a Lunar New Year sort of dish that you do. You don't make it every day.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want to be making jam. It takes hours
It's
just
a
to make the
process,
jam.
yeah.
Exactly. So I'm just going to move this to the side. There you go.
Yeah, so as little wastage as possible, that's the idea, right?
Exactly. We don't want to waste the flesh because basically what happens is when we juice this and when we reduce it down, you actually get a very small amount of jam. So you want to use as much as you can. So we want to get rid of the eyes. So if you do have a lot of eyes, this is what my grandma taught me. And I hope she doesn't insult me for how I cut it. But you sort of just want to go into the pineapple. So it goes in.
So don't slice down it, you kind
No.
of want to get in there and like
Exactly.
carve it out.
So this doesn't have a lot of the eyes, which is actually a great thing. And the reason why we want to remove this is because this part makes your throat itchy.
Okay, we don't want that.
Exactly.
At Lunar New Year.
No, it's sort of the same thing as if you eat a lot of popcorn. Your lips get a bit numb.
Yeah.
Yeah, same process as what happens with the eye. So here we can see there's still a lot of the flesh, the skin, sorry. So I'm gonna get rid of that.
And would
as
this
much
be
as
one
I
of
can.
many dishes that you've kind of learnt from grandma or other family members over the years? Is this a bit of a family favourite?
Yes, it is. My mom loves sweets. She's probably the only sweet tooth in the family. I don't like eating desserts myself, so I only like
You're the
making
dessert
them.
queen of MasterChef. How did that work out?
I love eating things savory, but I'm not a fan of eating desserts.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I lost my sugar sweetness since I turned
MasterChef
15.
did it to you. Yeah.
Maybe. So get
All
rid
that
of
pressure.
this. Alrighty, so now that we have our cleaned pineapple, we got rid of all of the eyes. Now we can chop it up. So you can see in the center, you've got the what do you call this?
I just call it the hard bit.
The hard bit. Okay, the hard bit. So we're gonna cut through. Just gonna be careful. Like I said, we want to get as much. So we don't want that hard because
Yeah.
that's the one that's gonna be a bit more to the. It's like mango when it goes that little of that pulp.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
the wrong consistency. For
Exactly. So you want to get the nice part of the pineapple, and then cut this way, and then this way, and then we discard this, or you can eat it.
Okay.
It's up to you.
I'll leave it there for later.
Exactly. So I'm going to get you to open up the food processor
Sure,
if
let's
you
bring this
can.
over.
So it's just a click here, and we can remove. And then this one, we just open it up that way. So I'm going to add in my pineapples.
And there's no key to the size that this needs to be. It'll kind of reduce
it's gonna
regardless.
it's gonna be blitzed up anyway, so we don't have to worry too much. Same with here, and then into the food processor. If you don't have a food processor, don't worry too much. You can always use a stick blender or your smoothie blender, whatever works. But you want to make sure you don't use a juicer because we want the pulp.
Yeah, right.
And the juicer usually takes away the pulp.
Yeah, got it.
So we're gonna put this on, the lid on. I know how to use my own food processor.
I can't help you
There
out.
we go.
I definitely don't know what I'm doing here.
And we're gonna process this. And we're gonna process for about 2 minutes. Yeah. Also, on a very important tip, you don't want to add water. So a lot of people do is they add water to help it emulsify. We don't want to do that for these pineapples. Reason is because if you put water, you're going to be spending 3 hours reducing that.
Right.
So you want to minimize using water. So blitzing it up for about 2 minutes. We can stop.
If for some reason people don't have a timer on there, or they've forgotten it, and it goes too far, is it all over? Or is it...
No. I don't think you can go far with blitzing
Okay, so
up
you're good.
pineapples.
Yeah.
I think the more you blitz it up, the better, because you break it up and let the water sort of seep out.
Okay.
So this is a little bit longer, and we're nearly there. A bit chunky is actually pretty good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, and I think we're good to go. So we want to be careful. We want to remove the blade. And I'm going to get you to pour that into our saucepan.
Well, the pressure's on now, Jess. Okay.
Yep.
I'm coming around the back of you. I don't get into the kitchen often, so this could ruin everything.
Oh, fantastic. Do you need a jar?
I'm a good pourer. MasterChef
Really
will be
nice.
calling.
We want to scrape this.
Oh, use it all?
My
Yeah.
grandma would be angry if we don't.
Don't waste
Exactly.
anything.
So we're going to pour this out completely. And then we're good to go. So now we're going to add in our raw sugar. And then we're going to put this on the heat so you can continue to stir that.
Okay.
And I'll quickly clean up.
Just stirring in this sugar, yeah?
Yes.
And how much sugar are we popping into this?
So
it
sugar
a fair bit?
basically depends on the sweetness of your pineapple. So
Okay.
on the recipe, I think it says about 165 grams. So we basically only want to put in a little bit at the start, and then you just test it. When then you test it, oh, you like the sweetness, there's no need to go any further.
Okay. So it's a bit of a choose your own adventure situation with the sweetness level, yeah?
No pineapple jam stays the same. It always tastes different.
Got
It
it,
could taste a
okay.
bit more tangy, or it can taste a bit more sweet, and it depends on the pineapple that you get.
Okay.
So whilst you're stirring that, I'm actually going to get onto our biscuit dough.
Go for it. So pineapple part 1, we're taking care of that, and part
Yep.
2 is the biscuit dough.
Exactly. I'm going to come around you.
Yep.
So for our biscuit dough, we've got a very simple lot of ingredients. So we've got caster sugar, we've got 50 grams of caster sugar, 130 grams of margarine, we've also got 130 grams of butter, we've got 350 grams of plain flour, 2 tablespoons of milk powder, and we've got salt and 2 egg yolks. So what we're going to do is we're going to beat our butter, margarine, and our sugar. So we're going to put it into our stand mixer bowl. Stand mixer or handheld mixer, whatever works for you. So I'm going to move this in.
And Jess, I'm assuming you have all of these gadgets in your own kitchen, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. I've got 5 KitchenAids at
Oh
home.
God. Okay.
And they're all
You can
my
never
kids.
have too many, I suppose.
Exactly. I do want to get another one, an orange one.
Where are you storing all of these? I mean, I'm sure, I don't have a kitchen that's anything like this Franklin one. But yeah, is your kitchen at home kind of a designer-ish like this, or is it a little bit more humble?
A little bit more humble. I mean, I
Yeah.
wish my kitchen was like this.
Yeah, same.
It's very luxurious. However, mine's a bit more homely, it's a bit more cozy.
Yeah.
But definitely one day I'd love to have a kitchen like this.
Yes.
So I'm gonna put this on about medium to high speed because I wanna beat that butter until it's nice and creamy. And also another tip, never ever work with melted butter. We wanna work with sort of a room temperature butter.
Okay.
And if your butter melts ever just so slightly, you're gonna find it so difficult just to make the dough. So
So
we're
be
gonna beat
mindful
this
if
up.
it's a warm day, yeah, don't let it sit out for too long. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm gonna beat this up on about medium. And whilst that's beating up, I'm gonna get preparing on the eggs. I'm gonna need this extra bowl. If I can move it aside. Just coming around you.
How is the stirring coming along, Jess?
Stirring's
Prior,
going well,
yeah?
but I've actually got you covered. So I've
Oh,
actually
good.
prepared one for you just
So I
in the
can take
case
this
that
away?
something happens. Yes, thank you.
Wonderful.
Now turn this. We'll be needing the spatula or the wooden spoon, thank you. And you're gonna continue stirring this one until
Right.
you reduce it.
I thought my work was done, but I'm back.
No, it's never done. There's still more to do.
So Jess, our jam has been sizzling away. It looks to be kind of solidifying a little bit and darkening. That's all normal,
Yeah,
yeah?
absolutely. So we had the puree and the sugar, and we had that reducing on sort of a medium to low speed, and we slowly cook it down. It may take about 30 minutes to an hour, and you'll see that all of that liquid just reduces and it becomes nice and thick, and it's nice and jammy. You can see the consistency.
Yeah, it's got a nice glugginess
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
a bit gluggy, and this is what we want. If we added water, you're not going to get this consistency. So this is good to go. We can take it off the heat. We're going to let this cool down completely, and I'm going to get you to move this out of the way.
So the patience is key with this, yeah? Just let it do its
Absolutely.
thing. Don't try and
Yes.
rush it. Don't add water to
No.
fasten up the process.
No, not at all.
Got it.
Thank you. Beautiful. So next we're going to move on to our biscuit dough. So I'm already got my margarine, my butter, and my sugar whipping up. And before that, I'm going to also crack my egg yolks. So what I'm going to do is I've got 2 bowls. I've got one for the egg whites and one for the egg yolks. So simply, we just crack our egg whites in here. And we only need the yolks for this recipe. There we go. And this meringue, I don't want to chuck it out because you can use it to make pavlova, you can make dried meringues, you can make...
So we're going to put that to good use.
Exactly.
Under our no wastage rule, yeah?
Exactly. So we'll move this aside. Thank you. Move that there. I'm going to beat my butter and sugar until it's nice and fluffy. So put it at medium. Beautiful. Yeah, so it'll take maybe about 1 to 2 minutes. And I think beat it a little bit longer, and then we're going to put it at low. So we're going to add in our yolks one at a time. Hopefully one falls in. Beautiful. I always tend to get all of the eggs in one. So and put it on a little bit of a high speed. Lower it a little bit. And if you don't have a beater that has a scraper, then you'd have to scrape it down. But we're very fortunate that this has got a scraper attached. Then I'm going to lower again, and I'm going to add in that last egg yolk.
And Jess, what is the benefit of adding those yolks in slowly rather than just chucking it all in?
The reason is because when you add in the egg yolks all at once, you're going to curdle the butter and sugar mixture, and then it's just going to be really hard to emulsify. So it's better to emulsify one at a time, and ensuring that our butter and sugar mixture is just really nice and creamy at the same time. So you can see now it's really nice and creamy.
Yeah.
If you put it all in, it's going to be a curdled mess.
Okay. So again, patience keeps coming back in this recipe. Just take it
Exactly.
slow, don't rush.
So I'm going to beat that a little bit on high, and then we're good to go. So in here we have the dry mix. So we've got the plain flour, which is 350 grams. We've got milk powder, and we've also got salt in here. And you want to make sure that you incorporate it before you add it into your butter mixture. So we want to add this gradually, and we want to put it on slow. The worst thing is putting it on high, and then you've just, this beautiful home gets like flour everywhere. So we want to put it a little bit low, maybe lower than that, on 1. And we want to add in our flour a little at a time. And then wait until it mixes first before you add in the next.
Okay.
So you see that it's nicely incorporated,
Yeah.
then you can start adding in some more of that dry mix. There you go. Yep, and put a little bit higher to help incorporate. Low again. Beautiful. And then high again. And though it's almost like switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off. And then we'll add in that last bit. I always like to use my hands when I'm cooking anything.
Let's get dirty.
Exactly.
I'm yet to do that, as you can see, a spotless apron.
And I think our dough is basically done.
Well, it does look very doughy. I'm
Yeah.
no dough master, but that looks very doughy.
So remove this from here, just be careful. Move this to the side as well. And now you can see we've got sort of like a crumbly mix. So we don't want to overmix as well. So this is also a crucial stage. We'll get rid of all of that from the beater.
So you want some of the crumble factor?
Yes,
that's
absolutely. Crumble is good because you can use your hand to incorporate it together. So I'm using the scraper just to incorporate and then wipe the sides. And I like to get my hands dirty. So
Gonna get in there?
exactly.
Yeah.
This is why.
Is this giving you flashbacks to MasterChef?
Oh, I think it's even worse in MasterChef. The pressure is just high. Funny enough, this was actually my first dish I made, and it made me go into elimination.
Oh gosh.
Because I tried to deconstruct it.
So you're having PTSD at the moment?
Yeah, having PTSD at the moment, because I tried to deconstruct it, not make grandma's edition,
Right.
and made a choux pastry and filled it with jam. The choux pastry didn't rise,
Oh,
so
no. So don't deviate from grandma's
no,
recipe, that's the lesson.
just make a cookie. Beautiful. So you just only want to mix this until it becomes a dough. You don't want to overmix. Feel that.
Like Play-Doh?
Yeah, a little
That's
bit
what
like
it
Play-Doh.
reminds me of, yeah.
So I've actually prepared some jam. So if you can open that up,
So nice, dark.
a nice
kind of-
dark rich jam.
Jess, you're testing me now. Here we go.
Thank you. And what we're going to do is we've got our little teaspoon here. So we're going to use this one and we're going to roll it into a little circle, just like this. And it's roughly about 15 grams.
Okay.
Could you do that as well?
Yeah, of course.
I'll get
The
our...
pressure's on Jess.
You can do this.
Jess
Come on,
is
it's
watching.
Play-Doh. Yep.
Take
and
me
it
back to
becomes
my
a ball.
childhood. Yep, pretty easy.
Yep. And then what we're going to do is we've got our cool jam. We're going to take just a little bit. But before that, we have to do the molding stage. So you've got it like this.
Yep.
We want to put our thumb in the center. We want to push it down.
Yep.
And then we want to make it into a little thimble. Thimble?
Oh yeah, a little
Yeah,
thimble,
a
yeah?
little
A little well in
thimble.
the middle.
I can't say the TH. Thimble?
Thimble.
Thimble, yeah.
I'll say it for you, it's all right.
Thank you. So then you've got a little thimble.
Yours looks neater than mine, but
So you have
I'm
to
getting
build
there.
it up. Build it up, like a little bit of a mushroom hat.
mine's got a mind of its own at the moment. We'll get there.
So just like that,
Yep.
and once you're ready, you want to put a generous dollop of that jam in the center, making sure that it's sort of just below the dough, just like that.
Okay, so we're not overfilling. It's
No,
not, you're not
'cause-
rising out the top.
No, because then it'll be hard to close it.
Okay.
So once you've got it in like that, then you're going to enclose it slowly, and then you basically made that pineapple jam disappear.
That's really cute.
It is,
It disappeared inside, a little treat.
exactly.
Well, I put some in mine.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're going to repeat this.
I don't know
And
what
then
I'm
you
doing,
get a little-
Jess. All right, let's
Yeah,
go
a
with it
little
like
bit.
that.
Beautiful. And then
Too
flatten
much?
it a little bit. Perfect. And then you're going to concave it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yes. Almost like making a dumpling, but not.
I haven't made one of those, Jess.
Oh, okay.
We're at real novice level here. All
Beautiful.
right.
But you want to make sure that that jam
It's fully closed,
fully
yeah.
closed.
So you kind of
Yes.
don't want to know where the
Exactly.
the
You want to
folds
hide
are.
it. And once that's covered, and if you do have a little bit, that's fine.
Okay.
So you roll it, and then it's nice and smooth. And then you're going to put it onto the base of the table, and then you're going to give it a little molding as well. You're shaping it.
Okay.
And then now...
So there's a base.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now it can sit like a little mountain
Okay.
or a little hump. Beautiful. Perfect.
Could not tell which one's yours and which one's mine.
Exactly. It looks perfect. And we just continue that. So have another try.
Yeah, great.
So-
I'm sure it gets easier as you go along. So for people at home watching,
absolutely.
it's, yeah. you
So
will get
15
there.
grams, you don't have to measure it 15 grams. Just get a ball, make that thimble, and then you're going to put that jam in the center.
I'm still at the rolling stage. All right, we're getting there. I'm going to speed it up for you, Jess.
Yep, a little timbal, building up the sides. Oh, a natural. I'll help you get some jam in there.
Thank
A
you.
little bit in there. And you want to push that jam a little bit down. Perfect. And
And we're
then
closing it up.
close it.
So this feels quite relaxing, not high stress, which is probably the opposite to MasterChef for you, yeah?
Yeah, like I think this like takes me back to home. Like being in the MasterChef kitchen, it was super stressful. Just trying to get
Yeah.
ingredients, trying to think what to make. But being in a kitchen like this, like you feel so comfortable and yeah, you feel more at home. So just like that, I've actually prepared us a tray. So don't you worry,
Good.
you
No
don't
more
have
rolling
to.
for me then.
And it's just over there. We're
I
gonna
will
pop
grab
it
that.
into the oven. Thank you. We might as well put our little ones
Yeah,
in
why
there
not?
too.
So these are our perfectly
Yeah.
formed.
So we want to space them up just a little bit, even just a centimeter is just enough. And we're going to do some egg wash. So can you crack some eggs for me?
I think I can do that.
But I want only just the egg yolks. So just like we did before.
Oh, yep.
So where's our egg white powder? Just over there.
And what's the importance of, you said space those out, is that so they cook evenly, or what's the theory behind making sure they're
Well,
not
these
touching?
cookies don't generally spread too much anyways, but in the case that they do, it's always good to just have a little bit of space. Same thing when you're making cookies, they tend to spread out just a little bit more. So that's why we have them a bit spaced out.
Got it.
Beautiful.
Am I yolking correctly, Jess?
Yes, you are.
All right.
You're feeling a bit nervous cracking eggs.
I'm very nervous. I'm in front of you. It's nerve-wracking.
It's just cracking eggs. Perfect.
So you said this was a bit of a Lunar New Year dish.
Mm-hmm.
What are the celebrations like at your house with family for Lunar New Year? What are some of the traditions that you guys do?
Well, usually we like to go to Box Hill and Springvale because they usually have the festivals there.
Right,
And then
okay.
you'll be able to get the beef jerky, or you'll see all of the red lights, and you'll even see like the Chinese dragon?
Oh, I love those, yeah.
Love it. The dancing lion, sorry. And they would usually spread out like lettuce from their mouth, or they give you like prosperity and goodwill for the year. So
that's a good thing, yeah?
exactly.
a good
It's good to
sign.
be spit out
Yeah.
with some lettuce in
Some lettuce in your face. Got it.
So we've got our egg wash. So you can add a bit of salt, but if you don't have salt, that is okay. So we've got our egg yolk. We want to brush the tops, just like that, just a little bit. And this gives that golden topping.
Right.
Beautiful. And yeah, we usually, have you heard of Yi Shang, the noodle
haven't.
toss?
Oh, no, I've seen that before, yeah.
So this year was the first year that I've ever done the noodle toss, and it was
How did
amazing.
that go? Yeah,
it
it
was
was good?
really, really nice. And I think that's all about, longevity, also for goodwill and everything, all that. Everything about Chinese New Year is about fortune and, good family and all that. So it's really, really good. It's a really good day to celebrate.
Yeah. And are you often I'm sure having done a lot of desserts, done MasterChef, are you put in the kitchen a lot at this time of year by family to say, make us food? Is it that kind of thing?
I'm always in the kitchen. I reckon
Yeah.
I'm in the kitchen 24/7, but I do love it. Like
You're happy
even,
there, yeah?
Yeah, I even bake at 4 a.m. in the morning.
God, okay.
I'd be
You
like
really love
food
it.
processing nuts in the morning. My parents hate it, but it is what it is. Beautiful. I'll quickly finish this off. I've got my oven preheating at 150 degrees or 140 degrees, and then we're going to bake it off for about 25 minutes. Beautiful. And we are
They're looking
ready.
lovely.
Nice and golden. Alright,
Quite an alternative take on a regular cookie, yeah. I like the shape of them, they're quite nice.
it's very cute. And
Yeah.
it doesn't spread too much, so you actually get the little, sort of like a gumball size
Yeah.
cookie.
So Jess, I'm noticing a bit of a curveball just out of shot here. There's a block of cheese on the counter over here. I did not realise the donuts and cheese lined up. So tell me about that.
So in Indonesia, I think we like to put cheese on everything.
Okay.
We have donuts with cheese, we have margarine with cheese, and we also have our pineapple cookies with cheese. So if you can grab the
Okay.
cheese, let's grate some on top of our pineapple cookies.
So this is a sweet cum savoury situation now,
Exactly. So basically the cheese adds a bit of umami, like the Japanese people like to say. So it kind of adds that saltiness to your desserts.
Okay.
So
And
I
is
wanna
this
use
something
more.
you'd still eat at dessert time? Or is this, it's still a dessert, right?
Yeah,
in with
I mean cheese, like cream cheese is also dessert.
True
So-
story. And I do love that.
So we're just gonna grate on top, and we want it
Okay.
to stick. So that's why the egg wash is also very important, is that it allows the cheese to also stick on it.
Yeah.
But regardless, we always like to put an egg wash just for the color as well. Because as I say, gold is also good luck. So I'm gonna grate. I like to grate quite generously because what I like to do is when I bake it, I've got sort of Parmesan or the cheese crisp that I eat at the end.
So you're a cheese lover like me. We'll be
Exactly.
into the pan later on. Yeah.
So I'll do maybe like a half cheese and half without cheese, because some people might not like a bit of savouriness to the dessert.
Okay. And is it Parmesan? Is it any cheese you want to put on essentially?
Anything. I'm using tasty cheese.
Okay.
You can use Parmesan cheese. Obviously not mozzarella, because mozzarella melts like pizza.
Yeah, right.
So
we don't want that. Don't want any string when we're trying to eat our dessert. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you can eat these any time of the day then?
Any time of the day. Mainly more sort of the morning, because you want only 1 or 2 bites in the morning.
Okay.
But it's essentially used as a gift. Like my parents, they always tell me, okay, I need all of these people to give for Chinese New Year. What am I going to make? So I said, let's make some pineapple cookies. You put them into jars. They sort of last for about 2 months, and you're sorted.
I like that. Very heartfelt.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
All
we're
right, so
gonna
half, yeah, half cheese, half no cheese.
half cheese, half no cheese.
And then
into the oven for about 140 to 150 degrees for about
Yeah.
25 minutes.
Okay, let's do that. So Jess, while our pineapple cookies are baking away, let's catch up on some goss, yeah? Some MasterChef goss. I'm sure all of our people watching just want to know about your MasterChef journey. I guess the obvious question is, what inspired you to even audition for it? Because you were the youngest contestant ever, right?
Oh, I wouldn't say the youngest ever, but I think I was 18 when
18?
I auditioned.
Well, that's young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a few years ago. But I actually auditioned for the Great Australian Bake Off because I'm more into baking.
Okay.
And I didn't actually get through. So then my friend said, why don't you audition for MasterChef? And I was like, I don't know how to cook. And then like, just try it. And then I ended up making it to the show, finished at top 4.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And it changed my life.
Yeah.
Completely.
Now you're known for desserts, but you're not a dessert lover yourself. So how does that work out?
I think because like when I was a kid, I just loved eating sugar, and then as I grew up, I just didn't like it. Life gets a bit bitter sometimes.
Yeah. So the MasterChef, you said you got to the top 4, which is incredible. Emotional journey. Was it hard? We all, on the outside, we kind of see the trials and tribulations and the highs and the lows, but when you're in it, tell us what that's like.
When you're in it, well, I cried every day. So after each challenge, I'd go home, go to sleep. I'd be like crying myself to sleep. And the next day, it's okay again. It's just the mental game because I was in a room of like people that were older than me, had better experience than me, and I just felt a bit intimidated.
Yeah.
But no, everyone was so lovely. Like it was almost like a big family. There was 24 of us living together in one house and then competing for just one spot. So everyone was like, this is what I wanted to do. I'm sorry, it's a competition. So it was stressful.
And it must have been hard because am I right in saying you can't contact the outside world? So all of your regular network of family and friends are off limits.
Well, yeah, I was away from my parents for I think about 8 months.
Wow.
So we could only call them twice every week.
Gosh.
But I didn't call them because it was my first time that my parents let me out, and it was like
Well,
almost
I'm
like
good,
a
I'm
big
good.
sleepover.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My parents never let me sleep over anywhere, so I was like 8 months away.
Freedom.
It's good.
So coming out of that, tell us what you've done since MasterChef, because you go through the journey, it's exciting, it's fun, and there's ups and downs, but then you come out and it's kind of like, well, the world is your oyster in terms of what to do next.
Yeah, well, before MasterChef, I was a waitress and barista at my parents' restaurant. And then after that, because of MasterChef, I was able to get experience in the hospitality industry, and that was like becoming a chef. And I worked at Omnom, then I got poached to the press club, so I did a lot of the bonbon and their bread making before moving back to Nobu again. And now I run my own sole trader business, and then now opening up a restaurant and patisserie as well.
Well, that's exciting. Tell me a bit more about that patisserie.
So the patisserie is going to be in the city, so it's actually side by side to another restaurant I'm going to be opening up.
Wow.
And it's all about tarts, it's all about, everything that I grew up with. Pineapple cookies might be there.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just, very modern French desserts, and that's something that I've grew up learning and loving making, so.
Lovely. So Melbourne CBD, go check it out. Yeah, so opening soon.
Yeah, hopefully April.
Yeah.
Hopefully April.
That's the world right now, just clinging on to hope that everything's going to be all right. Oh, that's very exciting. So you've obviously been in a number of kitchens. Yeah. How does the Metricon Franklin display kitchen match up?
I don't think anything can match the Metricon Homes kitchen. The tables, everything matches the wall. The lighting scheme is really nice, and I think the atmosphere, you just feel at home. Even though this is not my kitchen, I feel like I own this kitchen right now. No, it's absolutely beautiful.
It would be nice. One of the things I love about Metricon's kitchens is that sense of connection between living and dining and kitchen, and that outside kind of indoor meets out vibe. So that air and that light is just flooding in, which is great.
I can't wait to enjoy the pool. You can see it glistening.
I know,
at the
it's
moment.
beautiful, isn't it? So Jess, tell me how Jess Lemon came about, right? Because you're not actually Jess Lemon. Is this your Sasha Fierce alter ego that we're talking about here?
No. So Jess Lemon came about because actually it all ties in with MasterChef. It's funny enough. So when we came into MasterChef, you have to make an Instagram account. And my audition dish was lemon. And my last name, nobody ever pronounced it right. It's Liemantara. So I was like, Liemantara, lemon. I was like, Jess Lemon it is. So
Just cut the last name in half.
exactly.
Yeah?
And I love working with lemon. Like all of my things that I make are all lemon or all citrus.
Well, it's worked out quite well for you then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, the Metricon kitchen here in the Franklin display, obviously beautiful. We love all the fittings and fixtures, but functionality is so important as well, right? You're in the kitchen all the time. What are some of your functional must-haves that you respond to in a kitchen like this?
Well, first thing first is I love that it's an island bench. I hate having to face the wall all the time, so I like having an island bench. I like that the ovens are all displayed at the other side and not here, so that people can actually walk.
Yeah, we don't want to bend down.
No,
We love the raised. We love the raised.
Exactly.
ovens.
We like to have everything all raised. I like the, the amount of cabinets that we have because we have a lot of ingredients to store, and a beautiful stovetop. I'm not so much an induction type, but I love just the normal stove that we have. So that's sort of my ideal kitchen.
Yeah, beautiful. And for those of you watching, if you want to get some more kitchen ideas and inspiration, Metricon has a Studio M where you can go and tour. Specialists work in there, interior designers who are experts in the field can talk you through kitchen fitting, fixtures and functionality like the one in this display home. So don't forget to check that out on metricon.com.au. But for now, Jess, let's tour the rest of this amazing home.
Let's go.
Loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time.
All right, so we've just baked these off. It's been cooling for a little bit, and now you can see that it's nice and golden on the bottom. These we baked off with no cheese, and that's because we're baking it for people that don't like cheese. But if you're someone like me, I love it with a lot of cheese, so you can grate as much Parmesan or tasty cheese as you like.
We can progress to cheese later if you want.
Exactly. Always start with the simple basic first before adding on. So
I'm eager to get in and try them.
Of course.
So they're all ready to go, aren't they?
you can basically break it open, so you can start from the top, and then when you open up, you've got the surprise in the center.
Delicious. Give it a go, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to grab one.
Nice and flaky on the outside, and the sweet jam on the inside.
So delicious. Jess, it's been so much fun having you here to celebrate Lunar New Year with us at Metricon's amazing Franklin show home. Thanks so much.
No, thank you for having me. It's been so lovely.
And I hope you have a very prosperous year of the tiger.
Yes, it is the year of the tiger for me.
For those of you who are still on the broadcast and want to finish up with some final questions for Jess, she's still here. So hurry up and get those last questions in before she heads off for the night. And if you do want to find out more about Metricon's Franklin show home or to come to a future event or webinar like this one, just jump onto the Metricon website at metricon.com.au. But for now, Jess, I'm going to let you throw us out with a Happy New Year.
Basically, you want to have your hands like this, and you have to say Kong Shi Fa Chai.
Kong Chi Fa Chai.
Kong Shi Fa Chai.
Ooh, that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just my kind.